Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're celebrating sort of the end of summer. We are going to be making in a cast iron pan an easy streusel peach skillet cobbler. And it is scrumptious, especially with a couple of scoops of vanilla ice cream or some whipped cream. It's delicious. And you can just sort of scoop it out. You don't have to cut it. You can just scoop it into a bowl and serve it warm, and it's delicious. But before we get started, I want you to click that notification button because I want you to become a subscriber. I don't want you to miss any of my tips or videos because I think they're pretty good and they're very helpful, and I love having you in my kitchen. So we have preheated our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and this comes together really quick. So I'm going to go grab my skillet. I have my cast iron skillet that's 10 inches in diameter. I've melted 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter in it before I get started. I'm going to bring it over, just sizzling off the cooktop right there. So it's all ready for our batter. And I have cut up 2 peaches. My peaches were very large, but you really want about 2 cups of, and I did not peel them. I just quartered them and then cut them again crosswise like 2 or 3 times just to get chunks, like about this big. All right. So I took about 2 large, my peaches, this is how big they were. Big, big peaches. So I did that, and I'm going to mix in 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar and 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I'm just going to put that in there and get that ready. The reason you want to add the lemon juice, it prevents the browning of the peaches. So I'm going to get that going and just leave it. We're going to put the peaches and the lemon juice and sugar all over our batter when it's ready, and then we're going to top it with a beautiful streusel. I love streusel. I love anything streusel covered. I really do. So in a bowl, it's very easy coming together. 1 cup of all-purpose flour. This is your batter. Okay. And then we have 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. Get that in there. And I have my whisk temporarily, and then we're going to change to a rubber spatula. And then I have 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. So that's your chemical leavener. That's going to help it to get puffy and rise. And 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Put that in there. And I'm going to whisk that up. No eggs, nothing fancy schmancy, just super easy. And then I have a 1/2 cup of whole milk. If you don't like whole milk, you can't drink regular milk, you can use oat milk, any type of milk you want. Soy milk, that'll work great. So because I am going to be mixing with my rubber spatula in a minute and the batter's going to get real thick, I really want to make sure this is all whisked together because I want my baking powder and my salt to get really homogeneously blended in so nobody gets a bite out of baking powder or salt, because that would not be good. So I'm going to add 1/2 cup of my whole milk, and I'm going to mix that in. If it's very stiff, I always have a little milk extra. All right. If you don't use it, you can drink it. If you need it, you'll need it. So if you mix a little too much flour in there, just add another, teaspoon to a tablespoon of milk if you need it. I don't think I'm going to need it because it's coming together nicely. You can see I'm blending it in, but it will be thick. And that's why I'm using the rubber spatula. Don't use the whisk, because then you'll end up spending more time cleaning off the whisk. And you don't want to overmix here because we really don't want to develop gluten. And you can see it's thick, but it's not really, really like a biscuit batter. So I do not need my milk. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm actually going to put it on here into my hot skillet. And I'm just going to spread that batter after. And it will be thin in the beginning, but it will rise. It will rise. That's the wonderful thing about baking powder and chemical leaveners and beautiful ingredients like that. They really help everything rise together. So I'm going to scrape it out. You're probably saying there's a little on the far side of the bowl. I've got it. I've got you covered. All right, so I'm going to get as much out as I can. I got it. I got it. And I'm going to take my tiny baby offset spatula, clean off my rubber spatula. It has done its job. And now I'm just going to sort of move this around. And if you get a little butter on top of the batter, it's always better. I just made an alliteration. Batter's always better with butter. So there we go. I'm just going to move it around. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a fun dessert. Okay, so get that all around there. And it's going to be a little thin, don't worry. No worrying in the kitchen, no worrying, because you're just going to eat it. It's not a big deal, all right? All right, so now I have my peaches, but before I put them on, I want to get my streusel ready. So I have half a cup of all-purpose flour, and I have a quarter of a cup of packed dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar tastes so much better than light brown sugar, although there is a place for light brown sugar. Don't get me wrong. And I love this. And then I'm going to take some cinnamon. And I love my, my ground cinnamon, and I believe I put in about 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. If you like nutmeg or ginger, put it in. Put it in, put it in. But I just like a little cinnamon with the peaches. It's really nice. I'm not big on nutmeg, but you can also even put in apple pie spice, would be really nice in here too. So I'm going to get that going, and I'm using my hands for a reason, because we're going to cut in 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that I've cubed, and it's pretty hard. It's come from the fridge. It's come straight from the fridge. So I'm going to get that in there, and then using my fingers, I'm going to sort of squeeze it and sort of do almost like you're going to snap your fingers and sort of get that butter like that, sort of break up that butter and cut this in with your fingers until you have pieces of streusel, like clumps, for lack of a better word. It's not a very nice baking term, but it's clumps, it's clumpy. And that is going to make this incredible streusel topping over our peaches. So we are going to actually top our batter with the peaches, the lemon juice, and the sugar. And if your peaches are really sweet, you can forget the sugar if you want to, but I don't know, sometimes peaches need a little extra something, especially, late harvest, and they're just towards the end of the season. All right, so this needs 2 hands. This butter was hard, so I need 2 hands. It's not working fast enough for Chef Gail, so we're just doing it. And you'll see, you'll almost like rub it against your fingers, and you'll see now we're cooking with gas, right? Now it's doing it. That's it. I love it. And you're going to see clumps of butter. You're not going to try to hide the butter. Don't try to hide the butter, because we want the butter to do its thing and create these beautiful, almost like crunchy clumps on top, and delicious. This is going to bake about 45 to 50 minutes, so we have it. We have it. You see that? All right, so now it's peach time, and we're going to take all our peaches, and we're just going to scatter all the way around. And these peaches were relatively firm. They weren't mushy, but if you have ripened peaches, you could use that too. If you want to do plums would be nice too. You want to do a combo, you want to do plucots, which are combinations of plums and apricots. Yeah, they actually have those in the grocery store. Really cool, and they're delicious. All right, I'm going to get that in there. Actually, I'm going to put a little of that lovely sugary lemon juice. And now it's time for the streusel. All right, give it one more smash, right? And then just cover the whole thing. Oh, that looks so beautiful. It's not even baked yet. And we're going to put it in the 350-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. And you really want it to get nice and golden brown. You want that streusel to get nice and golden brown. And then you're just going to scoop it. This is great for a barbecue, or if you're doing something, you could even do it over the fire if you're camping. This will be fun to do. All right, I'm going in the oven. I'm putting my cobbler in the oven, and I will see you back between 45 and 50 minutes. My peach streusel skillet cobbler just came out of the oven, and it is hot. And I'm going to scoop some up into a bowl. You can serve it with ice cream or whipped cream, whatever you want. And if you want a little embellishment, you can put a little confectioner sugar on top. It looks really nice. Just a little blast. Just a little bit. Look how pretty that looks. What a great way to honor. Oh, look at that. Honor the end of summer, or the beginning of summer, or the winter. Oh, look at that. Can you see how hot it is? Can you see it? Oh, that looks so good. And it just comes right off, because that's what's so great about cast iron skillets. They clean up so nicely. Oh my goodness. This should feed probably about 6 people or 4 very hungry, piggy people. So I hope, forget this. I got to try it. I hope you make this beautiful peach skillet streusel cobbler. It's delicious, and I hope you become a subscriber. Till next time.